Hi, how you doing? I'm getting ready to bring my ferns in again for the winter, and so I just thought I would revisit the video that I did last year and just an update on my efforts. If you're new here, my name is Sharon and I garden on a large yard in a small town in east central Saskatchewan, Zone 3. Welcome to my Sask Garden. So I bought these ferns in the spring of 2024, and they are macho ferns. They're not Boston ferns, although they are quite similar. These are just quite a bit more robust. They spent that first summer here in the screen room, and they did well. They certainly sucked up a great deal of water during that time. They did put on some growth, but they had the great big long fronds. I'm sure some of the fronds were easily 3 feet long. Always this really nice deep green color, and then I wanted to winter them last year, and so just a clip from the video last year, the first thing I did was I dunked them into my rain barrel of water. I dunked all the fronds, frond first into the rain barrel, gave them a good swish, and then shook them off. That was step number one. And in order to clean the fronds, I dunked the whole thing into the rain barrel. So all the fronds are in there. I give it a couple of swooshes. At the same time, I'm holding the root ball so that it doesn't fall out. And that's it. And then I went on after that to immerse the bottom part into a bucket of fertilized water, or water that had been treated with fertilizer. And so I held that pot, holding the fern, I held that down underneath the surface of the water. I immersed it completely, and I held it there until all of the air pockets within the pot had filled with water and they all stopped bubbling. In this bucket, I have a very weak fertilized solution with rainwater, and I am going to dump this whole thing, pot and all, and I'm going to push it down. And because it's a little bit dry, you can hear the air bubbles, and I keep it in there until there is no more air bubbles coming out. I've been watering it this way throughout the summer, and it really responds very well, better than any other way that I've ever watered ferns. So I don't hear any more bubbles, and the pot is staying submerged, which means it's fully saturated. Again, you just push it right down, and you can hear those air bubbles as the root ball fully rehydrates. I actually watered those ferns that way several times throughout the summer, just to give them a really, really good soak, because the pots they were in, those maybe 10-inch round hanging pots, maybe they were 12-inch, but they weren't huge. They were fairly filled with roots, and it really wasn't holding a great deal of moisture. And so, I took a look through them. I kind of cleaned through, and I couldn't see any evidence of bugs, nor had I had any problem with that through the whole summer. Anyways, then I brought them in, and I set them on top of just a kind of a dividing wall that we have in the house. It gets very good bright indirect light even in the winter. In the winter, it actually, because the sun dips, it actually gets some direct sun early in the morning and late in the afternoon. They did winter well there, although, like any fern, they are going to do some shedding, and so there was some dry bits and such. And so midwinter, probably January or early February, I did a big cleanup on them. I put a big tablecloth on the kitchen table. I brought those ferns down onto that tablecloth, and I cleaned and I cut and I trimmed and just got all the dead growth out. I also took that opportunity again to give them a great big soak, and they responded very well to that. At the same time, somewhere around that time, I added a second saucer. So the plant was sitting inside a saucer to catch any extra water when I was watering. But also I set that saucer inside of a bigger saucer, and that essentially created a moat all the way around, where I was able to add water. So the plant pot itself was not sitting in water. The water was in the outside saucer. I've incorporated a saucer within a saucer in here. So there's this big saucer, and then in there, this pot sits inside a small saucer. And in that moat, basically, I have water in there. And so, just move that. And so that bit of water helps with the humidity. I just wanted to try and increase humidity for the fern, and I think that worked, to some degree. The way the fronds came down and sort of almost hugged that bottom saucer, or that bigger saucer. I think it kind of held that humidity in that area. It's very difficult to increase humidity around plants. Even if you're spraying, you have to spray many times a day. It's difficult in a house that has forced air heat in the winter, because that just dries out. It just dries the air. Most houses that have forced air heat are quite dry in the winter. We have a humidifier attached to our furnace, which does humidify the air a little bit, but it's still not a lot, and so our humidity levels in the house are quite low. Stuff like ferns, they have a hard time with that. They're going to have a hard time with that. Tropical plants are going to have a hard time with that too, and so it's just something that you have to try and combat. Whether my efforts with the saucer within a saucer were helpful, perhaps they were. I didn't find that the ferns suffered greatly. They did make it through to May or June or whenever it was that I was able to bring them back outside. They were really big. They were actually too big to set here in the screen room for the summer, and so I did put them just outside the screen room, still kind of a protected area, but they were outside. And my intention was actually to divide them in half, because the pots were absolutely filled with roots. They were root bound. But then about 6 weeks ago, I still hadn't divided them, but it was my plan to get them divided before winter again. About 6 weeks ago, I came across these nice pots that I thought would work very well for these ferns, for giving them more space and more room to grow. At the time, the ferns were pushing up lots of new growth. There was all kinds of fiddleheads within the plant itself, and so that's what I did. I bought the pots and I transplanted the ferns into these, rather large containers of soil, and they have plenty of room now to expand inside, to expand their root structure, as well as there's a lot more soil in there to hold moisture now too. And so here is one of the ferns that was repotted, and you can see that the fronds are not, the 3 feet that they were. They probably are at least 2 feet. And I feel like they're just going to continue to keep growing and then maybe eventually lay down a bit. Although I I don't really mind this upright look either. This one is just seems to be a little taller than the other, and this one is shorter. The fronds are shorter, but the plant itself is thicker. And you can see that they are still, the fiddleheads or the fronds are still unfurling. They did push up a lot of growth. When I repotted these, I pruned a lot of the growth out. And now, as soon as the weather starts getting really cold at night, I will bring them in and put them back on that big shelf in these new pots. I suspect that they will do well, or at least survive, you know, as much as they did last year, which was fairly good. I was fairly pleased with that. I was pretty religious about watering them last year and keeping them well saturated. For me, for the ferns that I had, that was probably 2 to 3 liters of water once a week. But you know, every plant is going to be different. Mostly I went by the weight of the plant. I watered it until I knew it was well saturated, and I lifted it. And you kind of get a feeling of what it's going to, how much it's going to weigh when it's fully saturated, and then again when it's, you know, dry or getting dry and needs to be watered. And that's mostly what I did. I did fertilize them throughout the year, throughout the winter as well, quite lightly. I didn't want to promote a great deal of growth, but at the same time I did want them to have nutrients available. These in the new pots, I don't expect them to require as much watering. They certainly haven't so far since I've repotted them. When I repotted them, I gave them a really, really good soak, and I think I did that once again after, and that's probably at least a month, if not 6 weeks ago. There's plenty of soil that is able to hold the moisture in there. So if you're wanting to bring in your ferns for the winter, my suggestion would be, first of all, to give the ferns a really good wash. If you're able to dunk them, upside down into a barrel of water or container of water and give them a really good swish, that'll work. Saturate the soil really well. Give them a fertilizer, before bringing them in, just to help them perhaps make that adjustment. Repot or not, it's going to depend on your fern. You can either divide it or not, but that's entirely dependent on the state of your fern or ferns, if you want to divide or not, or if they need to be repotted or not. And as for location, as I said, mine are just a couple feet from a south-facing bay window. There's lots of light, lots of good indirect light there. And I would suggest not putting them over top of or near furnace vents. And that's the tough part in our houses. If you have forced air heat, almost always, if you have a window, there's going to be a furnace vent underneath that. The houses seem to be they're designed that way. So I just thought I'd revisit my efforts and update you on how the ferns are looking, and I'm very pleased with them, and they will be coming in to my house for another winter. So I hope you found the video informative, helpful, enjoyable in some way, and if you did, give me a thumbs up. Tell your friends, and if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. See you.